Other leaders can follow the Trump model, bring the same vision to their jurisdictions, including our next guest, who wants to bring the state into the fold of the few proud places in the country where there will be zero state income tax. His name, Vivek Ramaswamy, candidate for governor. Great state, Buckeye State of Ohio. I got to give you a lot of credit. You know, a lot of people, they watch Donald Trump, but they don't seem to learn a thing. And when I heard your proposal, I said, he gets it. You know, Americans, the people of Ohio, they want bold, limited government, greater freedom, and they don't want the burden of government smothering their lives the way it is.
That's right, Sean. I'm going to lead Ohio to be a zero income tax state. We're going to get rid of the income tax because at the end of the day, it is your money, not the government's, and you deserve to keep what you earn. President Trump is being ambitious at the federal level. We need leaders at the state level who are going to be equally ambitious as governors. And I say this from a state, the state of Ohio, that sent the first man to walk on the moon, Sean. This won't be the greatest feat that Ohio has ever achieved. There have been greater feats accomplished in human history. It's relatively straightforward, but what we actually need is a governor with the spine to see that through.
Accomplished a lot. You know, the Cincinnati Reds back in the day, they accomplished a lot too. Yeah.
That's right. If we want to be a championship team, let's play like one. And the reason I'm saying this now, Sean, to be super frank about this, is I want families across the country to know, to put you on notice, you are able to come to Ohio, even if it takes you a couple of years to get here. We're going to be a zero income tax state. So I want businesses coming back here. I want people moving back into the state. I don't want to take anything for granted, but it appears highly likely that I'm going to be the governor before very long. And when I'm governor, we're going to bring down that income tax. So I want everybody across the country to know we're going to be one of those zero income tax states. So as much as our friends here, many of them for good reasons, spend 6 months and a day in Florida or Tennessee or other states, I want to repatriate some of those people back to our own home state of Ohio. And that's what we're going to do.
By the way, it's a bit of a myth. If you come from a state like New York, they want to tax you every day. They will come after you with a vengeance. You have to cut that cord so hard that they can never come after you. I mean, that 6 months and a day thing doesn't work when you have, first you'll have people like Andrew Cuomo say, if you're one of those New Yorkers that's pro-life and pro-Second Amendment, you're not a New Yorker, and there's no place for you in the state of New York. And Kathy Hochul, Lee Zeldin, Trump, get on a bus, go down to Florida. All right, so I go to Florida. And then all the tax people want to chase me down and take my money, so I have to stay down here. But in all seriousness, a lot of people ask the question, okay, how do you make up for that revenue? Now, Reagan cut taxes, doubled revenues in 8 years to the federal government, and gave us 21 million new jobs in the longest period of peacetime economic growth until the first 3 years of Donald Trump. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I mean, you really nailed that, Sean. As economic growth is the answer that everybody forgets. We're going to have a second industrial revolution worth of a boom in Ohio if we get rid of that regulatory state, downsize government, and actually get to a zero income tax state so people are moving into the state rather than out. That alone is an economic win. Combine that with a lot of the elimination of waste, fraud, abuse. You're seeing that at the federal level, as I believe we're going to have to see at the states. That's how you actually lift up an economy in a lasting way. Look, in the long run, I'm of the school of thought, Sean, that in the very long run in the United States, I'd like to see the elimination of the income tax across the United States of America. It was only in 1913 that we adopted an income tax. For most of our national history, we didn't have one. I want Americans across the board to be able to keep as much of what they earn so they have an incentive to work, an incentive to achieve. But I do think in the next step, a lot of states are going to have to step up and lead the way. We're going to do our part in Ohio, and I want to see a population boom of attracting people back into the state, as I expect we're going to start to see, frankly, even in the next 18 months, and then hopefully even longer after we then implement that in my first year in office.
Listen, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to compete with my free state of Florida. I'm betting on my state, but you can come in number 2. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that.
And we love your state, Sean. In fact, we got to learn some lessons, like the zero tax lesson.
Yeah.
We're bringing that over here.
Now Governor DeSantis is talking about dropping the property taxes significantly because revenue has gone up so dramatically as property prices have gone up dramatically because of the influx of people from, places like New York and New Jersey and Illinois and California. Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you.
It's a great trend.
Appreciate your time. What?
Now there's property taxes, too. I agree with you, Sean.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.